Hey everybody, this is a quick review of the lab for chi-squares. And so you were asked how you do it. Just to repeat how you did it, analyze descriptive statistics and cross tabs. And make sure you noted something that you have to click this. This is not on typically, you have to click chi-square. You have to click cells and you have to click expected because that's not on usually either. And then you were asked to interpret the output for two analyses. The first analysis was whether gender related to viewing one's marriage as happy or not so happy. And let's go look at it. I want to snip it and sketch it. And so here is the output for that chi-square right here. I kind of cut off some of that stuff, but that's okay. And let me redo that because it does look a little bit sloppy. So let me snip it again. I'll go wider. And here we are. Make it a little bit bigger for us to see. Let me look at this. And so first thing I look at is this chi-square down here. Here's our chi-square on this line. Here's our chi-square value. Whoops. Let me erase that. There we go. Our chi-square value looks pretty small. It's under 1, 7.3, or 0.73, I should say. Here's our degrees of freedom, and here is our significance value. So even if you made a prediction of a direction of these data, we still are not meeting our criteria. So it's greater than 0.05. It's way greater than that. So we fail to reject the HO. So it's not significant. And we actually don't even have to look up here because it's not significant, so we don't go digging around. So we just simply say that using the chi-square, there was no relationship between a person's gender and their views of how happy they are in their marriage, comma, chi-square. Degrees of freedom was 2 because we had just 2 minus 1 here and 3 minus 1. So 2, and we had a lot of people in this sample, I think, n equals 790. So these are just the married people. And then our chi-square was 0.73 and ns. And period. That's all we write. So let's go to the second analysis that we ran and interpret that. So whether one's marital status related to one's view of life in terms of it being dull, exciting, etc. So let's snip this. And let's look at our stuff. And I'll make it a little bit bigger. And I will start writing on it. So first thing I do is I jump down here, chi-square, make it a little bit bigger. I feel like it's a little small. So chi-square looks pretty big. It's 39. I have to tell it to write again. It's 39.22, 8 degrees of freedom, right? So there's 5 things here. 4 times, oh, that's weird. Oh, 4 times 2. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8. I was a little bit thrown off here. The total I thought was a level. It's not. Here's our significance level, which is for sure less than 0.05. So it's a rejection of the HO. We reject the HO. So there is a relationship between these two variables. And if you don't like using this, again, you could look up the value of the chi-square compare that to the table that we've been using with 8 degrees of freedom, you'll get the same solution. You'll get a rejection of the HO. This is just easier, in my opinion. So we have almost 0% chance of a type 1 error here. There's no such thing as a 0. I just said almost 0. It's probably like a 0.001% chance of a type 1 error. So now we're allowed to sort of dig up here. So we have marital status here, and we have the life is exciting or dull up here. So I'm just going to look line by line. So I think I see something almost right away with the married people. Like some are married people. Oh, there we go. It looks like there's fewer than we expected married people who think life is dull. And this is maybe not huge, but there's a few more that think it's exciting. Let's look at widowed. They're pretty small sample size, but it's a little bit of a sad picture. There's more widowed people who see life dull than we would expect, and there's fewer widowed people who see life exciting than we expect. Divorced. It kind of flips here. This is pretty close. This is almost 10 right here. I don't know if these are huge differences here. I wouldn't jump to conclusions here. Separated, we have so few separated people. And then married people, never married people. This kind of stands out. Looks like there's fewer never married people than we would expect to see life as routine than we would expect. So there's fewer. And looks like there's a bit more of never married people who see life as exciting than we would expect. So it's kind of interesting. So there's fewer married people than we expect who see life as dull. And there's fewer never married people than we expect who see life as routine. And there's more never married people who see life as exciting than we would expect. So it looks like those 3 things are the things that are driving this significant chi-square, in my opinion. There's other little things that are probably driving it too, but these are the 3 things that stand out to me. So that's it for reviewing of the lab, and hope everybody is doing well.